Force, as you're about to find out.
Anytime we see an intimate gathering of people who still care about poetry in 21st century America, I'm encouraged. Encouraged, thank you. Yeah, and poetry actually thrives in dark times. Speaking of that, my last good time was September 10, 2001, when Dan had me as a feature at his old I Love Mondays poetry. Yeah, 15 years is a long time to have a good time, but Dan was the first poet to give me a feature in Portland, and the next day the 21st century shitstorm started in earnest. So,
I'm sorry.
Our good time was very short-lived, Dan. Thank you. Thanks for the memories. So here's my little poem about the state of affairs as I see it. 4 p.m. election day at a massive I'm with her party, I prayed a prayer of thanksgiving to my dead conspiracy friend Bob that at last the sickening campaign reality show was coming to a happy Hillary victory end. But then in a small, still voice, Bob said, I'm sorry, the Illuminati has chosen crazy Uncle Donnie. Goodbye. No, Bob. No, Bob, I cried. What's wrong? My sisters and Hillary said. Oh, nothing, I said. I gotta go now. Go, Hillary, go. A future we can believe in. Bye-bye. Sometimes it takes a rupture in the space-time of our lives to see with clarity. Wasn't my fault, colonies, the sociopathic ghost of Margaret Thatcher says. I'm still with her. Meanwhile, my girlfriend Brenda's suing the ghost for not paying rent. And not a day goes by that I don't worry about the evil dolphins, aquatic and in control. I want Santa Claus to stop giving antipsychotics to babies. I want an asteroid to smash billionaires' row and leave the rest of us alone. I want to read the secret erotic diaries of Mother Teresa. I want to be the 23rd caller to heaven and win a free mansion for my friends. I want my girlfriend Brenda to stop insisting we try to make a little Mike G every time we see Donnie or Hillary on TV. It's exhausting. I want the pigeon to stop spying on my reading. I want a child to wish upon a penny and make it sunny. I want the bird to buy me a cigarette and the dog to walk my song. When the imbeciles have their way, the semicolon will be replaced by the smiley face. And the love coming from the moon says, I know it's hard. Come into my sleeve of light and cry as long as you need. Then repeat after me. Geopolitical reality is a fraud. Meanwhile, diamonds still sparkled in the feces of Hillary. She'll be okay, says the Illuminati. Mighty and broken we stand, addled with our addictions, pining for Neverland. Princess Leia vanquished the chauvinist slug. Jabba the Hutt can suck it. So can predatory Uncle Trumpy, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says. Coming soon, Mike G's Cyanide Supply Economic Warehouse Blues. I like writing hecklers into my poems like the 10-year-old neighbor girl. She's a little star in the center of a flower, tick-tocking until she explodes. I want the old lady at Costco to sneak me into a movie. I want the rain to stop hounding me about Leviticus 23. I want a rock in my pocket so I don't blow away. I want to witness a mini tsunami in a curbside puddle. Tony, the new usher, entered the coat check room 2 minutes too soon. That was the last he was seen intact. Months later, his splintered femur was found in the glove box of the coat check attendant's car. His shrunken head and tiny paisley tie were found in his own coffee cup in a seldom-used symphony storage room. There's a narrative echo in my head. Am I losing it? The red hospital-gowned sun slumps beneath the dusk as the 10-year-old neighbor girl stacks pennies into little pyramids of poverty. Which reminds me, my friends, I've left T.S. Eliot's skeleton in the elevator. Fuck him. Someday I'll plop into a puddle outside of McDonald's making little explosion noises. When the News Channel 8 helicopters fly by, I'll say, bada bada bada, taka taka taka. Meanwhile, I've made a hand puppet I can go on with so I don't kill myself before my parents die. How's that load you've been carrying, Mike G, the puppet says. Heavy, I say, then I tilt my head back and laugh. A little girl witnessed and asked her mom what I was laughing at. Nothing, let's go, her mom said. There was a rock for her mouth where the kiss should have been. There was a rock for her mouth where the kiss should have been. Maybe our holograms can say the hard things. Maybe our holograms can be happy. Maybe our holograms won't crush each other as they flicker in and out of love. May our holograms not be slaves to anguish and rage. May our holograms know the peace of sleeping like dead holograms. Shine a beam through hologram me, see the history of poetry. We didn't catch the wind. We didn't catch the fire. The red letters to God flew from our hands. Time passes. Pain gathers, just hanging out mostly with the cheeseburger wrapper I've grown to love because it hasn't left me yet. I think of the onion and what the layers mean. Our default is exhaustion. Do I smell good, she says. I want to suck your thumb, I say. Every day I resist the urge to curl up into a ball and whimper to the universe, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I've decided to start kicking you, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says, randomly, and just because. I'm most present when the idiocy of the mind's ideas recedes. These leaves stuck to my shoes are my companions in suffering. Your punch goes through my hologram unfelt. My punch goes through you unfelt. See how we don't hurt each other? My fantasy is being a medieval farmhand who can't read and always busy. Before collapsing into a thoughtless sleep, I see the moon and say, ooh, how pretty. Splashing in my McDonald's puddle now. We all deserve to die. Even you, Donnie T, even you, Hillary, even I. Chained to my vomit, there is freedom in thinking it means something nice. Do not despair, I say to the dark. I write light. A little girl passes the cave, sees the puppet's mouth flapping, me laughing. Sometimes I'm a hand gripping the edge of a pit, naked rest of me dangling above the nothingness, my feet are cold. I consider the hand, it's a good hand, it's always hanging on. Why does it hang on when it could just let go and be done with the hanging? It hurts to hang on. It can't hang on. It hangs. And now the cold wind and now the wet, it's in danger, hanging there where it always hangs, pretending strength so no one worries. Little hand in my room, on my shaft, losing its grip. Existence and Christmas are up in the air again, but like the stars are, so not so bad. Love was always the wheezing train, attempting and failing the hill. Meanwhile, I imagine sucking on a dinosaur bone, maybe the horn of a triceratops who felt free on an infinite plane, or the tooth of a T-Rex who got all A's and what it all means. What does it mean that the Illuminati loves Uncle Donnie? In these days of contagious stupidity and scary clowns, the human species needs poetry more than ever now. Mostly I'm just waiting around for the giant anthropomorphic birds to return. You know, the ones the Egyptians doodled in hieroglyphs as a masturbation alternative when they got bored. They also said sometimes language is baggage, sometimes simply luggage. The economy treats our magic like garbage, so fuck you, Horace, right in your all-seeing eye. Oh, what a surprise, another autoerotic asphyxiation victim. Can anyone blame them, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says. Upon our dreadful way, brave in our innocence, pigs with throats exposed to slay, here is love amid the smithereens and ghosts, mathematical gospel sought in morning fog, there the prayerful hand, there the money grab, there here the blowjob robot, a baby smiling to video mommy, poor stories spoiling morning, academic poets scribbling safely in slavery. The bishop's wife paints her toenails black, reads tea leaves to augment what the sermon lacks. I spy the last original beatniks tethered to their oxygen tanks, dreaming of conspiracies, while those who run the show like Kissinger and the Lizard Queen sip mint juleps and feed the script to Fox News and the BBC. Rest my love, do not wake, I need some peace to cogitate. I write my poems, you can't relate. Wait. Grief is the name of the can tied to my tail. If literal, I'd chase it till I starve to death. Eat what you want, she says. You're going to feel bad in the morning anyway. The birds of 3 a.m. are making a fuss of a poem that I call The Beauty of Latter-day Cacophony. Drawing hieroglyphs on the back of my hand now, sanity waving bye-bye like a scary clown as the anguishment huffs, puffs, blows the door down. Why is it that when you say we need to talk, it's never about something wonderful? My squirrel friend has a peanut allergy. Since it's the only food she eats, I'm worried. I'm sorry, humanity, I'm having a day like a Mike G poem. The Cheshire Cat said it best. We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad. I don't want suffering's acid flow to dictate the melody or the percussion of loss, the pound to sick rhythm. Give me the meaning of mercy in what was and is. Give me a lighthouse that allows me not to drown. While waiting for the next stage direction, the emptiness is filled with chatter and half-forgotten scholarship. I need to imagine the squirrel sleep in peace, waiting for a postcard with the sunrise and a caption that says starting anew. But no one sends postcards no more, so I'm waiting for you to press enter. Meanwhile, vengeful Russian hackers are leaking medical files again, and the doomed Arctic explorer ship is found with its cargo of gold skeletons. Sometimes I think the aliens are a psyop to control us, that the horizon ends with us, that under these stars are the only stories that are. In defiance and anguish, I broadcast my mind here. You got everything you need, you masturbate to Star Trek, you don't look back. I'm the moth beating against the light. I'm enchanted, I used to say. I'm sick, I now say. I'm no fun at hipster parties. I like to talk about the nature of suffering. You're no longer invited, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says. It was an infant joy I tried to catch and keep. I couldn't. It got lost. All I've been doing with my life since is to try to find it. The poems try their best. All relationship is this attempt. Danger. Dylan Thomas agrees. Reaching for joy's purity, I grasp a rotting thing as time petrifies the tree. Return to me and sing. I wish predatory Uncle Trump be into the cornfield now, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says. We're the sad animals that always bounce back. I take my needed comfort from that. We needed therapy after killing the therapy cactus. When a suicidal human picks up a penny, it's such a good sign I start crying, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says. The clouds like elephants, but the rotting carcass kind, not the flying Dumbo clouds with smiles like Disney money. When I was born, the 10-year-old neighbor girl said, another sucker! I think love made time and space to laugh at its own derangements. While smoking, I noticed a sign in an office window. I had to get real close to read it. No smoking within 10 feet of window. Aptly chastised, I go to snuff my cigarette against the building, but there's another sign. Please refrain from putting cigarette out against building. What a bunch of pussies, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says. I just found out the city of Portland has a flag. Are you fucking kidding me? Most likely I'll be slipping into languishment and stupor soon with no help coming from the stupid moon. I can't remember how many times I've been married. It is written that my first wife was so young she smelled of the womb. I taught her to drive and to sing in tune. Meanwhile, my radical skepticism's gotten out of hand. Not only do I believe that nothing I see on TV is real, I now don't even believe in the existence of TVs. I've been in love with you for a long time, baby, you say. I've been in love with you for a long time, too. 2 weeks. The prophet holds court in a lonely thunderstorm. Ants, like humans, choose morphine over sugar. While making love, we hear the scarecrows laughing from far, far away beyond the phallic trees and the horizon's spread legs. Grandma used to say, be grateful every day, because bad news like cancer or kidnapping could happen lickety-split, or in a jiffy, Grandpa would chime in. I bore witness to an old man yelling at a cloud today, meet me by the statue of bastards welcoming the masses to mediocre island. See those clouds, honey, they don't mean forever, they mean right now. I snuff out the cigarette in the sand next to its sister. Cigarettes have siblings too. My friend's kid wakes up grumpy. Well, I was gonna give you ice cream, but looks like someone needs another greatness nap. No, Uncle Mike G, not another greatness nap. Nighty night. Don't wake up till you're great again. Meanwhile, the congenital heart failure couple wanted a final pretzel to enjoy during Mozart, and it was my job to tell them no. When sated with sex and food, the best I can write is Scooby-Dooby-Doo. The landlord's mind is the size of a dime, and belief in a doomed world is just another controlling lie. Grandma said that love is perpendicular to grief, that where they meet you can sometimes find ecstasy's potential unleashed. My friend Mary says the chicken sand bath is a meditation of peace. When Bowie's Martian spiders meet Dylan's tarantula for tea, we're happy. That the world is the mystical. Ludwig Wittgenstein said that. Sometimes I wish it weren't. I said that. Please don't smoke my 19 siblings. The first cigarette of the pack said that. I want to write a mercy as common as grass and write joy as the ontological way it is. I'll write the birds to sing the not yet suicide song, and in this melody, in these lines, we'll get along. I am not a cisgendered white female poet, the 10-year-old neighbor girl says. No, I say, I'm a human poet. Categories are a trap that makes us sad. I'm a beat poet now, I say. You're a bitch poet now, my brother says. A sad poet now, all my ex-wives say. Adrift now with ripped out tether in the phoniness of space, I'm gonna write a crazy beat piece in which I yell fuck off to Hieronymus Bosch and his silly arrows and assholes paint jobs. Sometimes I don't exactly agree with what I'm reading aloud, like right now. Sometimes I'm as dumb as someone stealing an HD TV during the apocalypse. And from the moment Uncle Trumpy said, "Crooked Hillary, you're fired," during her concessionary call, I resolved to graffiti my poetry all over his stupid wall. I did not will this sick simulation. I wish it dismissed by Christmas. Meanwhile, Mozart forgot guitar. Fucking idiot. Thanks.